What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Tembrews here, back with another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make a sample trap beat. I have a project file open here of a beat I made, and I chopped up a sample and made a melody with it and made a trap beat around it with a hook as well. One of my favorite beats that I made recently. Just wanted to share this with you. Hopefully I can hopefully you gain something from it. And if you're new to my channel, I make tutorials like this. I also come out with new music every week. I make dance music and rap beats. Uh, a lot of remixes as well. I love making remixes, and I also have some original music on the way, so stay tuned. If you're feeling generous, please hit the subscribe button, like the video. Really helps me grow the channel. So plug aside, let's get into the video. And so here's my project file. The tempo is 150 BPM. I make all different tempos, but I tend to like faster paced beats. For this one, I chose 150. I was trying to make like a Seti Hendrix type beat. Shout out Seti Hendrix. He has some sample beats, so I believe that's where I got the inspiration for this one. So I'm gonna play you the first 8 bars of the beat after the intro. I'll show you the intro after, but here is the main beat. All right, guys, so that is the main basis of the beat. And the central part of it are those vocal chops that you hear that I chopped up. So let me show you those. They sound like this. These are the notes. So that's the melody I made with the chops. I'm gonna show you how I did that. So I found this vocal loop in Splice, and I actually used the part of the loop for the hook of the beat. So I'll play that for you here. It sounds like this. No faces, but I feel like it's something. So as you can hear, I like it. It's a nice vocal. It's very eerie and mysterious, and it's got that soul feel. I really like trap beats and beats that have like soul samples. It really adds emotion. All right, so let me show you how I chop that up. And as you can see, I'm using Logic Pro X. I'm pretty sure you can do this in any DAW, but I'm going to show you how to chop up a sample in Logic. So just for the sake of this video, I'm going to create a new track here and just copy and paste the vocal. Just drag it over here. All right, so that's the full vocal sample. And to chop it up, you're going to want to have that track selected with the vocal. And you're going to want to hit this icon up here. It's the flex button. You want it highlighted in blue. It's going to pull up some options here. You're going to hit this drop down menu and go to flex time slicing. And then you're going to click on the sample. Then you're going to right click it and you're going to press slice at transient markers. So it's going to chop up each transient, basically each syllable, so to speak. So you're going to hit that, and as you can see, it chopped it up here. Then you're going to select all of the chops, right click, and you're going to go to convert and convert to new sampler track. And then here you're going to want to select the key that the vocal is in. As you can see here, this vocal is D flat minor. Also, that would be C sharp minor, so I'm just going to put C sharp 0 here. I leave all this. You can put it into Drum Machine or Alchemy. I just use the regular sampler though. That's how I do it. You're going to click OK. And as you can see, it created a sampler track for the vocal chops that it made. I'm just going to delete all of these notes here. It automatically puts all the notes in. And now you have a sampler instrument, and you can pull up your keyboard or your MIDI keyboard, and you can draw in notes with the chops. I'm going to play it. And that's how I did it. And then I just fooled around with the chops on my keyboard, and then I drew in the notes that I wanted to get a nice melody. I try to find, not all the chops are that great. Like, as you can hear, like some of them are like, this is kind of too short. Like, can't really do anything with that. So I try to find just the longer chops, the ones that sound good, like this one. Like that. And just play around with it till you get something that you like. So that's how I made the chops. Gonna go back to the beat here. So these are the chops this is the melody I made from the chops. And I'm gonna show you the processing. So I have an EQ cutting out the lows, Camel Crusher to add distortion. I have another EQ cutting out the lows after the distortion, and I'm also cutting out the very highs of the chops because for a rapper or singer or artist to go over the beat, they usually will use that high end, so I don't want too much highs from those chops, if that makes sense. Then I have Valhalla Room reverb on the chops. Just play around the settings till you get what you like. I have kind of a big reverb on it, large room. And then I have S1 Imager widening the chops. So that's those. And then that's it. I don't have any instruments. I just have the chops and then the drums. So now I'll show you the drums. Start with the 808. Usually for drums, I will actually first, usually I'll add a snare or a clap. So here I have a snare hitting on every third beat. It's from the Oh My God Ronnie pack on Splice. It's called Contact. I have it completely dry, no processing on it. I think it sounds good. And then after I add the snare or the clap, I'll add an 808 pattern around it. And I will play around with the notes till I get the rhythm I like. And I'll make sure it's in key as well. So this song, like the vocal, is in D flat minor. Here's the 808 pattern. Let me solo it. I actually have some processing on the 808, so I'm using FabFilter Saturn. What you can do, it's a saturator, you can raise certain frequency levels, bands I should say. All I'm doing is just raising this band. It's in the 40 to 80 hertz range. It just made it sound like bigger, I thought. Let me show you with and without. This is without. This is with. Just sounds fatter. And then I have S1 Imager making the 808 mono. And this 808 I'm using is also from the Oh My God Ronnie pack. It's called Rolling Stone. This is the pattern again. So I play around with the notes and the length of the notes to get the rhythm I want. and this is what I came up with. As you can see, I have like these little faster notes at the end of the 4-bar loop. Those are good for transitions, doing like rolls. You can do it with the 808 or the hi-hats or a snare, clap, any drums really, but shorter, faster notes, what I call rolls, are really good for transitions, like that. All right, so then I layered the 808 with a kick. It's literally just playing, it's just hitting every time the 808 hits. Gives a nice punch. It's from the Southside Palace pack on Splice. It's called Bucka. And all I have on the kick is just a stereo imager, making it mono with the bass. Usually how I do it, something I learned, I try to make the low frequencies mono, like completely in the center. And then the high frequencies and mid frequencies, I make them wider. So the whole mix is filled up, which is basically stereo imaging. And then here are the hi-hats. So it's just a two-step pattern with, to add some variation, I added a couple of shorter notes at the first part of the second bar, and then a little roll at the end of the second bar. It's just a 2-bar loop of hi-hats. Let me show you what hi-hat I'm using. Probably from one of the same packs. Yup, it's from the Oh My God Ronnie pack as well. It's called My Time. In processing, I have an EQ cutting out the lows and a little of the mids. Reverb on the hi-hats, and I'm making them wide with the S1. I know I've said this in previous videos, but hi-hats are fun to make. They don't seem like a big deal, but really they set the tempo. And I've heard rappers say this as well. So you really they're fun to make because you can just play around with the size of the notes and, add some shorter notes here, longer notes till you get the rhythm that you want. And I didn't do it for this one, but sometimes I'll play with the octaves as well. So you can make some notes lower. I'll just show you here. See that? You can play with the octaves, the length of the notes to get some variation. That's what I like to do. So that's the hats. And let's see, I have an open hat here, hitting on every second beat. So you can hear that here. So for the open hat, I'm cutting out all of the lows and more of the mids than the closed hat. So only the high frequencies. Reverb, and I'm widening it as well. And this open hat is from the Southside Palace pack. It's called Swole. I think I use this one a lot. Let's see what else we have here. I have a crash hitting on the first beat every 16 bars. So that's more of a transition thing. Doesn't hit that often, but here it is. It's from a Jetson Made pack, a free Jetson Made pack I found online. So it's a great pack. It's completely free. So if you want to cop that online, you should be able to find it. Can't remember the website, but I'm sure if you Google like Jetson Made sample pack, it will probably come up. It's a good free pack. Same processing as the hats, basically, nothing major. And then, what else do I have here? Let me bring the snare back in. So I have one more drum here. I have a perk. Just hitting on the off beats every 4 bars. So also just adds variation to the drum pattern. Show you those right here. Really adds to the rhythm, in my opinion. Also from the Southside Palace pack, it's a rim. It's called Chippy. Just a dope sample, in my opinion. Processing on the perk, cutting out the low end, reverb, and I'm widening the perk. As you can see, my mixing, a lot of it's the same. Like, I'm EQing everything, I'm adding reverb to a lot of stuff, and just doing stereo imaging, so making things in the center or wide. And I also say this a lot too, but lately I've been leaving drums like raw a lot. Sometimes they just sound better. Like, you don't necessarily have to process a sample. Like, you don't have to do anything to it if you think it sounds good. Yeah. So that's something I've been doing more of recently, just leaving the drums clean with no effects. Let me just check here. So that is it for the drums, guys. That's literally it. It's nothing too complex. Let me play the full drums for you. And I'll play it with the chops now. This is basically the beat. So guys, that's the basis of the beat. All I did is I just arranged it. So I have a hook, and then to add variation, I will often take certain sounds out and then put them back in. So the next 8 bars here, I actually took the drums out for the first bar. So you just hear the chops. So I'll show you that. Right here. Then they come back in. Just variation like that really makes the beat interesting, in my opinion. So that would be the first 16 bars. Let me show you the next 16. So after the first 16 bars, to add more variation and keep the verse going, I actually took the 808s out for 8 bars. So it's just the kick, but everything else is the same. So let me show you that transition. Just adds variation. And the song I remember I got inspiration from when I made this is called, I think it's Got 'Em In by Seti Hendrix and OMB Peasy. Great song. It's like, it has a similar vocal sample, and I know they did that in that beat. That's where I got the inspiration. In part of the verse, they took the 808 out and just have the kick playing. But that's done in a lot of beats as well. But just not making it too repetitive and just changing things up slightly makes a big difference. And then the last 8 bars of the first verse It's a longer verse. It's 32 bars. But on the last 8 bars, again, I took the drums out the first bar, and then the 808 comes back in, though. Like that. So that's the verse, guys. Now I'm going to show you the hook, chorus part. And it's this vocal loop that I found. So here's that. And leading up to it, I have this little reverse crash. Just something to make a transition. Like that. I think it's good. So that's the first 8 bars of the hook. I mean, it really is the hook. So yeah, just this reverse crash. You want to make sure that your transitions are good. Transitions are key. It can be not the most fun part of producing, like, you know, adding the fine details and transitions. At least it's not my favorite part. My favorite part is making the melodies and the chord progressions, as I'm sure some of you can relate. Sometimes it's fun, though. And it's crucial because all the details add up, and especially transitions, you want the beat or the song to flow well. So in the chorus, I took the vocal chops, I right-clicked, and I pressed bounce in place. I can't remember. I either pressed bounce in place or I exported it as an audio file. But as you can see, it made the chops into an audio file instead of MIDI. And the reason I did that is I wanted to add this fade in. It's a fade in, but it's really like a speed up effect. So I'll just play it for you right here. I just think it's a cool transition effect, really cool. Let me show you how I did that. So I'll just add one here. You're gonna want to go to your second tool here, hit the drop down, go to fade tool. I'm on a Mac, so, well, yeah, if you have Logic, you're obviously on a Mac, so you're gonna hit Command and then drag how long you want the fade in to be. Once that's there, right click the fade and you're gonna hit speed up, and that's how you get that. You can't hear it right there because I believe I have a filter cutting it out, but that's how you get that speed up effect. And that was fun. Those are fun to make. And doesn't look like I have a filter in it. Let me see if I have some automation. Okay, I see what I did. So before I made it an audio file, I put a filter on the chops, and I'm just slowly filtering in the vocal chops, and then I bounced it to audio. So this is the filter automation here. I'm just using the Logic stock filter, auto filter. So you can start to hear it when the vocalist is singing, but then that speed up effect comes in after, and it really starts to filter in the chops. And it sounds really cool in my opinion. Let me play it for you here. I'm gonna solo it. Here it's slowly filtering in. And then the speed up effect. And then the chops are fully in. So this is like the second 8 bars of the chorus before the beat drops. I just have the hi-hats and the snare hitting, and a crash as well. And then right before the drop, I always do this. I leave silence right before the drop, just for like half a bar, or depending on the tempo, more or less. So let me show you that. So right here, you're gonna have a quick pause, then it drops. Yeah, guys, so there's the chorus, and then I have second verse, same as the first. Only thing left to show you, don't want to take up too much of your time, is a little intro and an outro. So here's the intro. Okay, so the intro is actually exactly the same as the chorus. So it's just the hook with the chops filtering in, and then my tag right here. And a crash. So yeah, that's the same as the chorus. Did not remember that. So here's the outro. Chorus is playing. The chops are out. I have a reverse crash leading up to the chorus. Only thing different for this outro, which I actually like a lot, is these chords playing. Solo them. Just strings. Kind of adds to the soul of the beat. These strings are from Nexus 2. It's from this ROM extension pack. It's called Mellotron Tape String. Processing. I'm cutting out the highs because the vocalist is singing here. Reverb and widening it with the S1. And yeah, just another detail. Doesn't make or break the beat, but it's nice to do that in the outro. I actually really like making intros and outros. They're just fun in my opinion, for rap beats and EDM. But so here's the outro. Alright guys, that's the outro. So that is this entire beat. It's called Ghost. If you want to hear the full beat, it is up on my YouTube channel and my Instagram. So if you made it this far, you're a real one. I appreciate it. It means the world. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way. I hope you got something out of it, even if it was just entertainment. Please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Let me know any requests you have, what you want to see me make or try to make, what you want to hear from me. Just any feedback you have at all. I'd love to hear from you. So that's going to be it for this one. And I will be dropping some new music soon. So stay tuned for that. And hope you have a great rest of your day.